Okay, good morning everybody and welcome to the Friday morning warm-up number 113. And we're going to be looking at intervals today, those differences between notes, those jumps from one note to another, which make up all the music we listen to. All chords are made up of intervals, all melodies are made up of intervals. And so on. So very important aspect of it. Right, we're going to get started with just a little bit of clapping. And what we started on last week was triplets. And there we go, got it on the screen now. So last week, just recapping, and maybe one or two of you weren't here, we just did the first two lines where we clapped 1, 2, 3, 4, which is fairly straightforward, the top line. And then on the second line, we did counted and clapped 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Just to see how triplet quavers, as you can see there are quavers, triplet quavers, fit into a 4-beat bar. And when I say triplet quavers, a triplet quaver is when 3 triplets are played or clapped in the space normally of 2, because normally of course there'd be 2 quavers for every crotchet beat, but we've managed to squeeze 3 in, and that's when they become triplets and sound like triplets. So I'm just going to recap that in the first few seconds and then move on to the third line. I'm still not going to do the fourth line just yet. So let's just nice slow tempo this time. Just follow me, and after 4 we'll clap the top line nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So they're your basic beats of the bar. 1, quite slow. 2, 3, 4. Now just keep clapping. Don't change your clapping. But we're going to count, read out rather, the second line. You'll get the idea. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3. Now clap as well, so 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2. You can stop saying it if you're getting out of breath like me. And that's the sound of triplet quavers. Now just go back to the simple clapping. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Now we're going to keep saying those words, but if you look at the third line, we're only going to clap when those particular words, 1 and let and trip, are said. This is the tricky bit, so you might have to practice this afterwards. If you just listen to what I do, you get the idea. Here we go. 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. One triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, triplet. Now we're doing 6 claps in a bar. One triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Last time. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Oh, golly gosh. And in the end, you obviously want to be able to do it without counting out the one triplet, two triplet, because it doesn't look very good when you're on stage counting out your numbers. But that's the idea. And eventually you actually get the da, 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 as a kind of a rhythm in your head. And I mean, some of you will have played those sort of patterns in a piece of music, and but maybe that will give you a bit of background as to how that works. So what we did then, just to recap, was the third line essentially, which are triplet crotchets, which means that there are 3 crotchets, but in the space of 2. And one of the reasons why it's very difficult is you can think of a piece of cake, or rather a big round cake. It's very easy if you've got 4 people to divide it into 4. You do it right across the middle, and then you do it right across sideways. And of course you've got 4 equal pieces. Now just imagine you've only got 3 people at the table, and you've got to divide it exactly into 3. And that is where it becomes very difficult. You sort of make one slice, don't you? Then you think, right, if I'll do another one there, the third one will be there. Oh no, that's a bit bigger on that side. Oh no, move that over a bit. Oh, that's too small there. And it's very hard to divide a piece of cake into 3, but it's easy to do it in 4. And it's exactly the same with musical triplets. Right, we'll come back to the 4th line next time. Triplet minims. Okie dokie, let's move on. And if you'd like to get hold of your instrument, we'll just get that going now. So and just reminding myself there, the scale we're going to be doing today is a C major scale, intervals thereof. So we just need to get our instrument warmed up using the note C, concert C. So here we go, just for a minute. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay, that's got our instrument going, and now we're going to do the chromatic scale. So we'll just start at a nice easy tempo. So we're going from, just as usual, from this time from concert C. So D for the B flat instruments and A for the E flat instruments. Concert C, all the way up to the octave and back down again as per usual. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that again. 2, 3, 4. As we're talking about intervals today, when you go up a chromatic scale, you are actually going up in minor seconds. Did you know that? Right, let's do that a little bit quicker. Up in minor seconds. Quite a bit faster. Not too fast, sorry. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Faster still. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more. Actually, chromatic scale I don't think is technically the correct term for this, because chromatic usually means not in the key. So when someone said play that was a chromatic note, I think they normally mean it wasn't in the key or the scale, but some of these are, of course. So anyway, the general term is chromatic scale. Up in minor seconds, then down again. Here we go. Last time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll have to double check that fact. We need a fact checker to see if chromatic scale is the right term for this or not. Anyway, that's what we're calling it. Good. Let's move on now. So onto the exercise sheet, the main one. And as I say, we're in C major, concert C major. So D major or A major for B flat or E flat instruments. And we'll start off just by playing the scale, and then we'll talk about intervals. What are they? Right, here we go. So we're just going to play the first 2 bars now, and this is the major scale going up and straight down again, okay, in a traditional way that if you're having classical music lessons, you would practice the scale. Normally you don't repeat the top note, and that's what we've done here. So we're just going to go up and down the scale, but in quavers. So let's just slow it down a little bit because you've got more notes. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Yep, so we're doing the first 2 bars, the major scale up and down. 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Finger fluff there. Again. 1. Oh, sorry, that was the 3rd time. Right, good. Now moving on to the second 2 bars on the top line. So this is exactly the same scale, of course, but playing descending first, and it's kind of just breaking up how you practice a scale. Because when you do practice a scale, you are actually really creating a muscle memory, and it becomes hard to practice a scale differently. You're so used to playing it in a certain way that your muscle memory isn't thinking, oh, this is a major scale, it's just thinking, I do this. You know, your muscle memory is in stone almost. So just by practicing the scale descending first, then ascending, straight away, you'd think, well, it's just going to be just as easy, it's the same notes. But it does make it a little bit trickier, because your muscle memory can get slightly confused. So let's just play the next 2 bars after 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well that's the traditional thing we do, is just play the basic scale at the beginning of this particular part of the exercise morning, and just to get us going, get our ears tuned in to C major. Okay, now we know that we've got 7 notes in that scale. So therefore, from the root note to the next note, there are 7 intervals, 7 jumps. From the first note to the second, from the first note to the third, from the first note to the fourth, and so on. So you've got 7 different intervals. And there's a number of reasons for concentrating on particular intervals. Is partly to get them into your ear, to recognize them. And the better you recognize a melody, the easier it becomes to translate music that's in your head into your instrument, so it comes out of your instrument. But ultimately, that's what we want to do. A bit like when you have conversation, you think of what you want to say, and miraculously your mouth says it, and out it comes, hopefully. And exactly the same with music. It'd be great to be able to hear something or listen to something and then recreate it. And the better you understand melodies and can recognize them and replay them, the easier that gets. So I thought what we'd do is we'll just go through the 7 intervals, just the diatonic ones, the ones in the scale, not ones that aren't in the scale, and always going from the root note up to the particular note. And we'll just talk briefly about each interval and the relevance. And I've also shown a particular song which starts on that interval to help you recognize it. So you'll soon get the idea when we look at the first one, which is the major second. Now, when I said about the chromatic scale going up in minor seconds, each note is followed by a note a semitone higher. But as you know, with the major scale, the next note in the scale is 2 semitones higher. So if 1 semitone is a minor second, 2 semitones is going to be a major second. So that first interval going from the root note to the second note of the scale is a major scale. So if you like to just play that after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you get a chance to sing it either after you've taken the instrument out of your mouth or at the same time, dum, dum, you're starting the process of internalizing the sound of a major second. Okay, now to make that easier, if you know a very familiar tune, then that can help you remember what that interval is. So, and we've all sung Happy Birthday at some point, and that does start on a major second. No, I don't know if you know this, but Happy Birthday's in 3/4 time, not 4/4. So I've just put this little key signature in there. So after 2, I'd like you to just play the opening phrase to Happy Birthday. So I'm just going to go 1, 2. Okay, that's it. Let's do that again. After 2, 1, 2. Happy birthday. So that first interval going up is a major second. Of course, the one coming down is also a major second. It's gone back to the first note. One more time on the major second, Happy Birthday. After 2, 1, 2. And then perhaps sing it. Da, 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 da. And then forget Happy Birthday, just sing the interval. Da, 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 da. Just keep doing that to yourself. Da, da. Major second, major second. Good. Okay, well that's got major second underway. The next note in the scale, if you were playing this scale, the scale that we started with, goes up to the 3rd note. And it's a major scale, so therefore it will be a major, and it's the 3rd note, 3rd. So it's called a major 3rd. It's actually this interval which defines the scale. If that went up to the note, a semitone below that, whatever happens afterwards, it's still a minor scale. That goes up to the 3rd note. So that's a major scale. It's a major 3rd interval as well. So we'll just play what's on the sheet there. Just after where it says 4/4. After 4, we're just going to go dun, dun. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dun, dun. Singing la la. Sound of a major 3rd. And a good tune that everyone will recognise that gives you the sound of a major 3rd is the beginning of while shepherds watch their flocks, or their sheep, or wash their socks, and various other versions of it. So after 3, we're back in 4/4 time now. After 3, let's play the opening to while shepherds wash their flocks. Watch their flocks. Right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it's just that opening interval that we're interested in really, but I thought we'd just play a little bit more of the tune. And again, after 3, 1, 2, 3. While shepherd. So there's your major third. And what you can do is start listening to music and songs and try and work out what interval they're starting on, because they're going to be in one of these 7, because these are all in the key. It's not likely that they're going to start in a non-diatonic interval at the beginning. So okay, let's move on to the perfect 4th. So we play the C major scale, up 4 notes. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we arrive at the 4th. It's a perfect 4th, which means it's got a very consonant sound when played together. The augmented 4th, which we're not looking at today, sounds like that. And that's when the 4th is a semitone higher, fret higher. Okay, so we've got the perfect 4th. Let's just play that interval that's shown at the bar 11, where it says perfect 4th. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, very common in sound. 3, 4. Perfect 4th. Also sounds like a piece of music resolving, doesn't it? Dun, dun. And the classic tune to remember to help you recognise this when you hear it is Here Comes the Bride. So let's play the next bar. Dun, 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 dun. It goes up a perfect 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, so one more time. Here Comes the Bride. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, 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 do. Those of you that sing are already doing this, of course. Those of you that don't sing, well, this might actually help in recognising what you're singing and how you should sing it, and what's going on in a melody, because all melodies are really just made up of intervals. I mean, a lot of them are major seconds and minor seconds, just going up and down the scale, but sometimes you get bigger jumps in your tunes. Such as
why is it called the perfect 4th rather than the major 4th?
I think it's because of the perfect interval sound. In terms of the mathematics of it, it's a clear interval of 3/2. It's a multiplication factor. But I could go back and I'll get my fact checker on it and find out exactly why. That's how I've thought of it, but it's not something I've really questioned as you did, Jeff, so I'll come back to that. But just the same with the next one, the perfect 5th, when you hear the two together, they're very consonant. In other words, they sound very tuneful together. A flattened 5th sounds very discordant. Yes, the use of the word discord obviously means discordant. You know what that means. The opposite is concord, not the aeroplane. The fact that two sounds are very good on the ear, easy on the ear. So we're on to the perfect 5th now. So do the scale again. Let's get the scale up 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5. Let's do that again from the root note. Up 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dee, dee, dum, dum, dum. So we find our way up to the 5th note of the scale, so that the interval from the first note to that 5th is a perfect fifth. Let's play that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more time. 2, 3, 4. There we go. The sound of a perfect fifth jump interval. And the tune that helps you recognise that is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, the next bar. So let's play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star as shown. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that first interval it starts on is a perfect fifth. So that's how you would recognise an ascending, and do say ascending, perfect fifth. Of course, there are descending melodies as well, descending perfect fifths. Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones. When you hear the Flintstones, Flintstones, that's going down. That's going, oh sorry, that's going down a perfect fifth. We're not talking about descending intervals at the moment. Let's stick to the ascending ones. Okay, you got that? Recognising a perfect fifth? Good. Now we're on to a sort of relatively uncommon one now, major sixth. In fact, it wasn't easy to find a song which started on a major sixth, but I wanted to include it as part of the session. So let's play a major sixth now. So we're on to the next line where it says major sixth. After 4, just play that interval that's shown. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Boom. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dun, dun. And the bigger intervals don't tend to appear in songs quite so much, simply because they're harder to sing, and also composers find them more difficult to include comfortably. But I've forgotten his name now, but the person who wrote My Way, that Frank Sinatra made famous, does start on a major sixth, which is quite an unusual interval. That song is quite hard to play because of the large leaps in and the wide range of the tune. So starts on a big interval to start with, doesn't help. So let's play My Way now. Now this is starting on the end of 4. So after 4, we go into the tune of My Way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now the end is here. So we're really only interested in that first interval. That's the sound of a major sixth. Sorry, what I didn't do is go up the scale for 6 notes to find that note. Let's just do that, backtrack. So we're going to do that major scale, starting on the bottom note and go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're just going up the main scale that's at the top of the sheet, up 6 notes, and you'll arrive on the major sixth. There is a minor sixth, but of course that's not in this scale. We jumped over that, so that's why we've gone to the major sixth. Okay, only 2 more to go. The major seventh, very unusual interval, and the only song I could find is it's not that obscure. It's a big hit, but it's "Take on Me" by Aha. Actually starts on a major seventh. Let's just play the scale up to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can tell straight away this is going to be a bit strange. And now go, just hold that top note. And now go back to the root note. And now go back to the top note again. And you got the sound of a major seventh. It's unusual because it's a semitone off the octave. So it's clearly not going to be a common leap. It's quite an amazing singer, that guy in Aha, to be able to do this confidently. So let's just play the "Take on Me" melody. It's where he goes, take on me. That bit. So the take on me melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take on me. And again, 3, 4. Take on me. Good. That's a rare one. A little bit more common is the octave. So that's going from a C up to an octave C, or a D up to an octave D, or an A up to an octave A. And let's just play the octave. So we're just going to play the root note followed by the root note an octave higher as shown. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Well, we've all played that at some point. And again, 3, 4. And probably the most famous song which starts on the octave is, as I've typed it, Over the Rainbow. Lesser known version of a famous song called Over the Rainbow. So we're now going to play Over the Rainbow after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Somewhere over the rainbow. So that's a great example of a song which starts on an octave. And again, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that one more time as it's our last interval. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. So, well, we all know that the major scale has got 7 notes in it, and they are the 7 intervals from the root note to each of the individual notes in the scale until from the second up to the octave. Just a point for anyone who's, I wouldn't like to say pedantic, just likes to complete the whole story. There is one more interval which we haven't done. Anyone got any ideas? No. No. One more interval we haven't done. It's the unison. That is actually an interval, just so you're aware. Going from one note to the same note again is an interval of a unison. And that does come up. So, so I'd just like you to make sure you all are aware of that. Okay, we're going to move on now to the time's running on, so we're going to just play the 2 exercises now. And really it's just a little practice exercise of working your way up the intervals, starting with the root note each time. So we're literally going to play exercise number 1 right across 4 bars. Let's just get the metronome going, and you'll be playing all the intervals in this. So here we go. After 4, exercise number 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I hope you can see you're going from the 2nd to the 3rd to the 4th to the 5th to the 6th to the 7th and the octave. One more time, 2 more times. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I think because of the time running out, we'll just jump on to the last exercise now, because I just need to finish off with a bit of strumming. So the exercise number 2, now this strictly speaking is not what we've been doing, it's descending intervals, but we'll do it because it's a taster of things to come when we talk about descending intervals. So exercise number 2, the last line after 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. We'll leave it there on that one because, as I say, that's not really ascending intervals, but it's a good bit of practice. And after all, this is just a warm up, so that gets you warms up your brain as much as your fingers, I think. Good. Right, I hope that's been interesting, and we'll just finish off with a little bit of strumming where you can just relax and strum some chords or play some tunes, and just for the last minute. And I've put on the screen actually the chords to Pachelbel's Canon in not D but C, our version. So, but all in the key of C, so you can try your intervals out or just noodle about for the last minute. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the top. One more time. Finish on the root note, chord rather. Okay, there we go. Good. Right, thank you very much as always, everybody, for zooming in to the session, and nice to see you all. Hello there, other people who've just arrived. Richard, I didn't see you earlier, but it's nice to see you. Good. And right, see you next week.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thanks.
No doubt.
Thanks very much, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Dave.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Julie.
Bye. Bye, Julie.
Bye.
Bye, Dave.
Bye.
Thanks, David.
Thanks. Send us a link to your
Oh yes, when
To
I
your
get
radio.
back, I'll,
Yes, please.
get that sorted. I'll send it out. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay.
Well done.
Bye
Well
then.
done for
Thank
today.
you.
Cut
Anyway.
you all off now. Here we go.
Dave, before you
Bye.
go,
Oh, Richard.
Dave, before you, you've gone.